Hello friends, I'm PixieStyx. Welcome back to my channel, and today I have another jelly gouache video for you. Last time I tried the Ardex gouache, I'll leave that in the link up above, and it was really fun. So now I want to try the Himi gouache and see what I can do with that. And I think I'm just going to do a study today in my Gouache Sketchbook. So as part of my Patreon rewards, I have a weekly sketch practice where we all work from the same theme and do a spread or a few sketches in our sketchbooks or digitally to just kind of hone our skills on certain subjects. And this week it is feet and shoes. So let's paint some feet. Also, new hair? What do you think? I really like it. Let's get into the video. Alright, I'm going to get started with acrylic paint actually because I want a background that is not going to... wow, that was messy. That's not going to shift on me when I put gouache on top. And I'm just testing out to see how this does in my Gouache Sketchbook. I did recently get a Mossery sketchbook that has 100% cotton watercolor paper in it. So I'm curious to see how the gouache does in this sketchbook versus that one, and I haven't tried it here yet, so I'm going to do that first. And right now I'm just putting down a base for my study that's going to go on top. And I'm not quite sure how this will work because I haven't tried it before, but I'm hoping that if I let it dry long enough, it won't stick to itself when I close my book. I feel like this part of it is going to be pretty therapeutic. By the way, I have no idea what brand of acrylic paint this is. It's one that came in one of my son's kits because I don't actually have any acrylic paint to my name, so he let me use this. Probably not the highest quality, but it's just a sketchbook study, so that's fine. Already loving the textures we're getting with this too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clip the side down so it doesn't warp, and then I'll paint the other side. Okay, so I've intentionally left it pretty textured just because I like the look. And once that dries, we're going to come back in on it with a white colored pencil, and hopefully we can sketch over the top to get the sketch ready for the gouache painting part of it. So we're just gonna let that dry and then we'll be back and see how it goes. Okay, so I have my lovely feet sketched out. I've got my reference, I've got my paints, and I guess the only thing left to do is to get started. I'm super nervous because I've never tried a study in gouache before, but I'm gonna try and keep it really colorful and not just try to paint things as I see them, if you know what I mean. So I guess here we go. So I guess my major goals with this study are to not overly blend and mix my gouache. I want to try and get that look of really painterly and textured, and just quickly get down where the light areas are if I can. Okay, I'm gonna go bolder because I honestly don't know what I'm doing. But I'm gonna try some different colors, get some undertones, have fun with it, right? I don't know, we'll see how it goes. This is something that I see people do all the time, and they make it look like wonderful in the end, and I don't know how they do it. It just looks like magic to me, so let's play around. I have this problem where I'm very much a perfectionist, and so I'm doing my best to stay loose this time and just really treat it as experimentation rather than something that's going to turn out perfect in the end, because it definitely won't turn out perfect in the end. Whew, these are the most colorful feet I've ever seen. I do intend to clean it up a little bit as I go, so we'll see how that goes. I'm probably going to have to let it dry here so I can do another pass. Okay, I'm going to pause there. I'm going to let everything dry and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so while this was drying, I took the opportunity to finish the rest of the sketch spread with just some studies of shoes and feet. And now it's dry enough, I can get back to painting these colorful feet in the middle. I definitely think I want to go in with a thicker layer now and maybe start trying to get the color a little bit more close to actual foot color. So maybe I'll start with this darker base and see what I can come up with, I don't know. This is definitely more experimental than I've ever gone with stuff like this, so it's been an interesting challenge for sure. I always try to use a thicker layer, but it dries so quickly on the palette. I never managed to quite get there. I can say that I'm having a lot of fun with this, even though it's just feet that I'm painting. It's really kind of soothing. Definitely interesting to see how the colors mix with the layers underneath. And that's one of my favorite parts about gouache. Okay. I think we need a bit of a lighter color now, but I think we'll start with the same red. I really need to use like mixing palette knives or something. I have some somewhere, I don't know where they went. Get some of this guy. So far it's interesting. I definitely am finding myself missing some of the colors from the Artx palette that are a bit more pastel. Like I'm having a harder time mixing the colors I want to mix, but I think that'll just come with practice. It's just interesting to me. And if you're wondering what my end result is gonna look like, so am I. I'm really not, I don't have like a plan in mind for how that's gonna take shape. This is definitely scaring me a little bit just because of how colorful I'm being with it, and I have no idea if it's gonna turn out the way I am intending. Part of it is that I don't even have an intention, but it's kind of freeing also. I feel very, I don't know, experimental right now. I used a little too much water there. It's okay. I'm still having trouble like figuring out the right ratio of water to gouache that I should be using. I definitely don't want to look like the feet are bloody, so don't worry, I'll go back over that again. Get some of this brown, I think, just for some deeper shadows. I have a tendency not to grab enough paint, but we'll see how this goes. Have you guys ever tried something like this where it's really not very structured? I have a lot of trouble with it, as you can tell, but I'm trying to let loose a little bit when I'm doing studies so that I can kind of see if my brain works differently when I try this. Okay, we definitely need to work more on this side, especially down near the toes that I've apparently been avoiding. I'm trying to remind myself that sketchbooks are for this purpose. This is exactly what they're for, is to just try and figure out things as you're working and make things that aren't necessarily the most beautiful. That's what finished pieces are for. So I can say I really do like this flat brush. I find myself using it for everything. Just really like it. It's interesting how the gouache medium I'm using is making this both at the same time more challenging and more fun, because I always run out of paint before I'm done painting. I just can't seem to mix enough, and it's helping me learn to mix enough, but also at the same time it's forcing me to learn how to remix a color that's close. So that's good, I guess. Ooh, that's almost a Naples yellow color like you get in the ArtX palette. Really liking that color.
You make me nervous. I think I might be hooked on you. I love the things you said to me, it seems like you like me too.
I definitely feel like we need some more dark right around there.
Canceled all my plans to be with you tonight. So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go, come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think we were meant to be. You make me anxious. I think I might be stuck on you.
So I'm using kind of a really thin wash to try and come back in here and just smooth out the shapes a tiny bit, since it's really messy. I still want to leave the highlights, and I'm definitely going to have to come back over that again because I'm losing some of the definition when I do this, but I feel like this foot looks a lot better than that foot.
I don't think I ever wanna go come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think we were meant to be. Oh, we were meant to be. Oh, we were meant to be. Oh, we were meant to be. So just sit with me, talking through the night into the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think you were meant to be with me, talking to the night into the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think we were meant to be.
Okay, you know what? I actually think I am happy with that. I'm gonna leave it like it is. Maybe one more last touch here. I mean, they're not the greatest feet in the world. They look a little green around the edges, but I actually kind of like how colorful they are, so I think as a study, this worked out really well. So guys, that's it for this week's video. I think the study turned out pretty well in the end. I really enjoyed working with the jelly gouache again. I do think I prefer the Ardex one for the color palette, but both of them are fun to work with, so I really enjoy the fact that I have so much of the paint. It makes it really easy to do studies like this where I'm just using random colors and seeing what happens. That way I don't feel like I'm wasting expensive paint, and then maybe if I start feeling more comfortable with it, then I can work towards purchasing some higher quality tubed gouache. We'll see if I get there, but in the meantime, I'm really enjoying these jelly gouaches. Also, I want to give a shout out to my patron Tina for sending me these awesome sparkly fairy lights that I have hanging in my office now. They really light up the room and it makes it so cheerful in here. Thank you for watching my video. I hope I will catch you in the next one. If you liked what you saw, please feel free to subscribe and like the video. It really does help my channel. Also, I will leave a thread below for your win of the week, so please be sure to comment on the thread and let us know what's going well in your life this week. My win of the week is the hair! I'm just excited to finally have it a fun color, and I didn't even have to bleach it, so that was the best. Anyway, I think that's it for this week. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone!